And the pot calls the kettle black, calls the kettle burnt, calls her mad. Kettle reminds the pot that we've both been burned on the same stove, that the parts of our bodies that are layered in soot were scorched by the same hands. Kettle tells pot that she still boils water, holds the hot breath of a white man's tongue, endures the slow simmer of a white woman's allyship, and still, we make something beautiful. Pot calls the kettle wicked, and kettle says no, but says she's so magical she burned the hand of the last man who tried to pour himself a piece of her. Says she's so black she is everything, so black she is the beginning. She is the first thing someone finds home in when they wake up in the morning. Says ain't that what it means to be black? To have the world go up in flames around you and still be sanctuary for someone, saving men who lost themselves the night before, saving men who curse our names but forget his mama is made of steel too. And now the pot has no words but calls the kettle bitter, but loves the glass pan, the fine china, loves all the exotic shit white men put behind glass casings, loves how fragile things not made of steel can be. But this isn't about the pot or the pan. This is about the kettle, the black woman, how she pours herself across the earth, but no one bats an eye when the water disappears. We give ourselves to men who never love us, but they say we are difficult, too hard to break. How we, the kettle, praise this pot, this man, and all the water he holds. How we are the only ones who do not call him monster when the water boils over, because we know this heat, this white flame, hot enough to make any of us explode. We are the first ones to make noise when the world goes up in flames, but they say the earth was saved by the man who heard her scream. Pot calls the kettle black, and kettle says yes, but says you best remember you black too. The next time they bring a fire to your neck, they burn black bodies on the stake and the stove. Pot calls the kettle black, and kettle says bitch I might be, says nuck if you buck, then says wipe me down. Kettle says yes my nigga, I be black, I be mad, and I boiled the last man down to his bones when he tried to test me. Pot calls the kettle black, and kettle says hell yes, but don't say my name as if you ain't ever been burnt too.
All right.
A known racist, white nationalist, individual who believes in regressive policies to stop the progress of black people. Nick Fuentes. Well, they went on a podcast, and this is what happened.
Well, you can say it.
Say it. Come on, man. I want you to say it.
For real. Yeah, what you got?
You want me to say it?
Yeah.
Is anyone going to hit me if I say it?
No. Let's go. 2 hours. Come on, Nick. What you got?
All right.
This is how far we've fallen. Black men actually begging him to say the N-word. That's pretty damn disgusting right there. How he even got on the show, this just tells you where we are at. And black men, you want to be mad at black women, and we're doing shit like this? Are you freaking kidding me?
So they wanted a known racist to say the N-word in front of everybody. They decided to encourage him to do so, made it a game, a joke, something playful. Understand the inclination to platform someone who has opposing views. I do that here myself. But I do it in order to provide challenge to the negative, hurtful, and antithetical commentary and positions they hold. You see, policies kill people. Bad policies kill people. He supports bad policies. Individuals make laws based upon his white supremacist organization. And these laws have a detrimental impact on communities around this nation. It is no laughing matter whatsoever. And I will say this to the two gentlemen who founded the podcast, and let's put them up full mass. A lot of people appreciate and enjoy the podcast. I think some of the content is actually noteworthy. However, in this moment or in that moment, I think that was a historical mistake.
No, this is how they are. Dr. Ritchie, this is how these men are. They identify with the same ideologies as Nick Fuentes. And I need to make that clear right now. This is why Black women are looking at Black men with a side eye. This is right here. Before Nick came on here, we saw what these fools were doing. So I think that, Dr. Ritchie is being a little bit nice to them, but these men right here are disgusting. Nothing less. There's no view to see of what they're basically the KKK of Black men.
I want to say this to you, gentlemen, Mr. Walter Weeks and Myron Gaines. We teach people how to treat us. And when we teach them how to treat us, by way of either bending over in places we should not, let's keep the picture up, by either bending over in places that we should not, or by challenging individuals appropriately, we then teach that person how to treat everybody who looks like us too. Understand what you're doing. Walter Weeks and Myron Gaines started their show in October of 2020. They're known for discussing controversial topics such as modern dating, race debates, politics, and other current events.
He said it almost right. He said discussing modern dating techniques, but it's more disgusting modern dating techniques.
They got blowback last year after Weeks said, quote, "Most Black girls are annoying, are ratchet, and don't know how to converse," end quote. Fuentes appeared on the podcast's latest episode, which was released July 8th. The host invited 8 Black women on the podcast to help co-host, as women do regularly appear on the podcast as the show welcomes an opposing view. And at one point, this also happened during the interview. Here it is.
Thanks for it and gave it to you. I don't know yet.
How do you find that?
See?
What is the point, Myron? What is the point?
Bro, we're finished, bro. We're finished.
There's your Black leaders right there. Let me move it back. There it is right there. I mean, what more can you say? I mean, I thought Black men offered, I thought we offered protection. How is this protection right here? Literally bowing down to some of the worst entities in the world, and even white people would agree that. That's pretty bad. That's all bad right there. This is not helping a Black man's image at all. Not one bit.
How do you find that?
See, what's interesting to me is everyone is old enough to know what decent and mature behavior is. And I do understand on YouTube that there's a certain, palette for entertainment. But you got to know when you're being disgusting. And you got to know when you're being misogynistic. And you got to know that if you establish a pattern of that, that's who you are. People are giving you a pass, and that's the only way that they see you differently. So, I mean, I can tell who he's trying to please. Not any of the women on the panel. I know that. Bowing down. This is beyond bowing down. Oh yeah, bowing down to that master. They ain't me. He just did, and y'all packed the house. Y'all will be back there. All you dudes, all you red pillars are going to be back to his channel as quickly as you can get there. You can't get laid. It's Princella's book is actually available on Amazon. I think I got to check out my community page. I believe I put a link to it there. So I mean, how am I? Look, you got some of you black men are out there saying, "Well, you should be you should be defending black men." How do I defend black men with this when we're doing shit like this? You tell me. How do I defend you guys? Why should I defend a man who thinks like this? Any man who thinks like this, regardless of race. Because whether he thought it was funny or humorous, next thing he'll do is he'll show up in blackface and be dancing across his floor.
What is the point, Myron? What is the point?
Bro, we're finished, bro. We're finished.
Cancel.
All right, and let's put up the twerking. This happened as well. One of whom decided to twerk on the proud racist Nick Fuentes. Now, I'm not here to moralize against a particular group. What I'm here to do is provide maybe an idea, a thought, a challenge, to simply look at it from a different overview, to understand the amazing position that you have as an individual who others give a damn about and about what you say. That is a position of public trust, should be held sacred. All right, sharing thoughts.
I like risk takers. I like people who go and swim upstream, but this is not what we're talking about here. These are bright guys, but they lack creativity. This is dumbing it down. That's exactly what it is. And it's also when you allow others to treat you this way, you're teaching yourself something too, Doc, as I'm sure you know. You're teaching yourself not to respect yourself, self-hatred. All of these things are what we saw on the screen there, mostly not creative and full of self-hate.
All right, I'm sure there will be some level of follow-up. We will bring it as it comes.
There you go. And we want and where's what are we supposed to do? I don't see too many guys in the chat saying what I should do with this. Let me get this Nick Fuentes.
The known racist.
Let me get this back. What am I supposed to do with this? What I hate to sit on this because we do got a big show going on. But basically, this is the core of that. Black women are not the core of our problem. That is our problem. Here's our problem right here. There's a problem right here. That's our problem right there. That's our problem. That's the core of our problem right here. So let's say you find a fit, feminine, friendly woman, right? All that BS. You find her. But you're bowing down and shit like this. With a hood on your head, And see what's the funny thing is, see, how you feel inside oozes outside. People see it. People see it. And this is what we're left with. That's just there's nothing, there's no excuse. There's really no excuse. There's none. None at all. Let me keep this going. I don't want to sit on this for too long. Remember this guy?
Man, that nigga Jalen Green need to be banned from the NBA.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. Jalen Green, Rockets player, has been trending for a while now. There are some videos that have leaked. And in the videos, how do I explain it? He's dry humping his teammate Josh Christopher. Before I give my reaction, this is what I'm talking about. First and foremost, let me say that in the modern world, both players are adults. They can do whatever they want. Nobody will stop them, so long as they're not breaking any law. But now, the problem is, these players, especially Jalen Green, is a key player for the Rockets, and things like this, off the court, distractions,
I don't care about what he's saying.
Reaction to this.
Hey, that nigga with the Houston Rockets that was dry heat. Yeah, man.
Remember now, Charleston White wants them banned for this. I'll just call it horseplay. I'll just call it horseplay. Very embarrassing. Even if you're red pill, you got to see where I'm going with this. I know you see where I'm going with this.
That nigga, that's a sick shit. No, man.
Wait, this guy is saying that that's sick shit, right? He said that, right? Same dude who said this shit.
No, nigga, I'm telling you, nigga, I served time for killing a white man. It's orchestrated and documented, nigga. Then I'm telling you I'm online about I rape white hoes. Why would?
But now when you say you rape white hoes, you ain't saying it like you actually rape white hoes.
I did. Yeah, I am. I'm saying it like I gave scenarios where I done it. You must ain't seen the video.
Oh, wait a minute. So he's trying to be all high and mighty and shit with these guys here, right?
Hey, that nigga Jalen.
He's trying to be all high and mighty right here with Jalen Green, wants him banned and shit from the NBA. But he's running around, true or not, telling people he was graping and deleting. Graping and deleting. He apparently, by what came out of Mr. White's mouth, is that he was in prison. So never been arrested. I don't know how you get into prison without being arrested, Orlandus. If that's who you're referring to, because I don't know. Maybe Jalen Green. I mean, he hasn't been arrested. But I mean, it makes sense to me because I mean, really, quite honestly, Princella was gracious to him during the interview they had, because his level of, what was we call it, comprehension was a little bit weird.
No, nigga, I'm telling you, nigga, I served time for killing a white man. It's orchestrated and documented, nigga. Then I'm telling you I'm online about I rape white hoes. Why would?
But now when you say you rape white hoes, you ain't saying it like you actually rape white hoes.
I did. Yeah, I am. I'm saying it like I gave scenarios where I done it. You must ain't.
So And he's thinking this is a flex. I guess he thinks, for some reason, I believe he thinks that us black men, all of us are so bigoted that it's okay to do crimes on other people. And we're good with that. We're just going to be good with that. Not knowing that in reality, that just makes you you're still disgusting. You're still disgusting. So let me go ahead and play a little bit more in this, and we're going to move on because this was nonsense. I just need to bring this back up.
Seen the video.
I seen the video.
I gave scenarios.
Let me put it this way: the reason why you buy Princella's book is to avoid men like this. That's why you buy it. That's why you buy it. Just if you need to know. That's why you buy it, so you can avoid men like this.
Where I done it.
Okay, now when you say stuff like that, bro, I be confused because I don't know if you speaking in character, right? Or if you
Homie, I've been saying this for years. How much more loud and clear do I have to say?
That you was raping white women.
We grew up doing it. This was a thing we did, nigga.
Are you saying like it was a thing that was going on in your hood, or is
no,
it shit that you
nigga, I'm telling you, I actively done, nigga. I'm telling you, I done it.
You heard it? Okay.
I done bragging about it. How much more vicious can a nigga get with rape?
Leader, and is a leader in the manosphere. He's a leader in the manosphere. Not just some guy in it. He is a leader in the manosphere. Let's break it down like this. Let's bring the good doctor up.
Okay, so today I want to talk about cognitive dissonance because this is something that affects a lot of people.
This fits
when they are in
right
a
now.
toxic relationship. In fact,
wait. Let me start this over. This fits perfectly right now. I just got to say that. In fact, before I get into the
today
mix,
I want to talk about
before I even get into the mix with the good doctor, let me kick out some shout outs. In the house, you can't get laid. In the house, Orlando's. In the house, B. In the house, King Sigma. In the house, Cyber Dreams. In the house, Creative Solutions. In the house, Femi from the chat. In the house, Tam. In the house, Her Square. In the house, B. In the house, All Things. Natagene. In the house, Happy Life. In the house, BXX. In the house, Oya. Terminador Negro. Let's see if the good doctor can explain this situation for us.
Today I want to talk about cognitive dissonance because this is something that affects a lot of people when they are in a toxic relationship. In fact, it's one of the things that keeps you in that toxic relationship. What is it? It is that uncomfortable feeling that you have when you're trying to hold on to two contradictory thoughts at the same time. For example, he loves me, but he treats me like garbage. These are two complete opposite thoughts being held in one's mind at the same time. This can cause a lot of unease. And the first sign that you're actually experiencing this cognitive dissonance is that feeling of unease. Another sign that you might be experiencing cognitive dissonance is that you're actually ignoring the facts. Sign number 3 is people might call you a hypocrite because you say one thing yet do another. Now, some of us might be a bit more conscious about the cognitive dissonance, so we might be aware of the conflict, yet still not know what to do with it. Now, the more these contradictory thoughts mean to us, the higher the level of cognitive dissonance. And the only thing that will resolve that discomfort is for you to pick a side. And here is where the greater problem lies, because most often than not, we pick the side that serves our purpose. So if we want to stay in that relationship, if we still love that person, we're going to pick the side that says, he loves me really. We're going to pick that side and we're going to disregard everything else, which results in us being left open to being further treated like garbage. And on top of that, it leaves us with the task of rewriting what love actually is, what it means, in order for it to fit what we are actually experiencing. So how can we get past this? The first thing we need to do is become conscious about the cognitive dissonance, to be aware that that is exactly what we are experiencing. The next thing we have to do is to face the facts, all of the facts. Now, you might need to work with a coach or a therapist or an accountability partner to help you to stay connected to all of the facts. Because when you're in it, this can be very, very challenging. The next thing we need to do is accept the facts. Accept what you are experiencing as it is for what it is. Just facing the pain of the situation on its own will, a lot of the time, cause you to go in the opposite direction. So, again, you're probably going to need some support whilst you do this. 4, after you've looked at all the facts and you've accepted the facts, you need to pick the side that makes the most sense. Does he love you or does he treat you like garbage? What makes the most sense based on everything you've experienced? That's what I wanted to share with you guys today. I hope you found that helpful. Have you ever experienced cognitive dissonance, and how did you handle it? Let me know in the comments.
I want to discuss this post. This behavior of lusting after an extremely beautiful and free woman, then wanting her to tone down her sexiness and freedom once you're together is odd. We need to have this discussion, but because there are several examples of this going on and then being supported by women and men. It is like women are literally cars, and women get talked about like cars all the time, but it's like these guys go to a lot, they pick out a car, and then they start trying to customize it. This is what they do with women. They choose someone that is...
Wait, hold on one second. I hit the wrong button. There we go.
Beautiful or whatever, they attracted to them. They were attracted to these colors. They were attracted to the freedom, the free spirit, whatever. And then they get her home and they're like, you need to change this. You need to do that. You need to do this. Now, women have a lot of internal misogyny to unpack, because a lot of the women that I see in the comment section are like, yes, women need to change. If a man says that he doesn't like it when you wear red lipstick, when you wear your hair this way, when you dress this way, you need to change. A lot of women are in the comments doing that. I expect the men to do that. Men see women as something to be controlled. They say it in their language daily. I am not understanding the women who feel the need to like control everything about women. You see this with the women co-signing all of the respectability politics. Y'all, all of us are different. Even if I do X, Y, and Z, my belief, my behavior, my whatever in X, Y, and Z doesn't mean that that is how the next woman should comport herself.
Exactly that. In the house, Nubia. In the house, you can't get laid. In the house, B. In the house, Orlando's. We're going to keep going. Let's go into the show. Okay. Wait, where is it? Where is it?
Anyway, look.
Let's see what old Coach Greg Adams had to say. Let's see what old Coach Greg Adams had to say. You know, 2 gray beards, kicking it up here now. Let's see what he has to say.
3 reasons why you don't trust women. We got 1,000 likes and we're ready for the madness. All right, let me give you 5 reasons why you don't put trust in the women in your life. Again, 50 Cent done told y'all. Yes, I'm going to use the song as a reference. The women in my life bring confusion and shit. So like Nina and New Jack, I'll cancel that bitch. Look at me. This is the life I chose. Niggas surround me so cold that my heart don't froze.
This is a grown man, by the way.
I build my empire on the low. The narcs don't know I'm the weatherman. I take that cocoa leaf and make that snow. Right? So the trust that you have to have in relationships is the trust for yourself. And reason number 1 why you don't put trust in the women in your life is that, number 1, they can't even trust themselves. On a daily basis, they wake up without trust for their own self. I'm going to play pretty videos of this. And yes, this is many women. And this is just a part of who they are. They can't even trust what they're doing.
All right, in the house, Creative Solutions, B is in the house. Columbus Hill is in the house. You Can't Get Laid is in the house. Money Make Mark is in the house. KB is in the house. And of course, Nubia Gold is in the house. It's very important for everyone to see this man's behavior. There's two things going on. This could be how he is, or this could be who he's pandering to, as somebody would say. And you're right, B. You're right, B. He is projecting. And it's going to be exposed in this live. It's going to be exposed. So let's keep it going.
Okay, because the number one thing they're loyal to is to their feelings. So this will be in opposition many times to you. So if you give over trust to your life to them and their only loyalty is to their feelings, not you, eventually this is going to consume you.
Isn't that interesting, though, that, I mean, does he realize that Black men, we are kind of like, there's being in love and we are obsessed with our feelings to the point of to detriment of one of us deleting the other every hour. So, I mean, you see, his point would have worked if there wasn't a comparison made on anyone else.
It's going to consume you. It's going to disappoint you. And you're going to be caught off guard. Okay. The one thing that they can't do for each other and even for themselves, they want you to do. And guys, do not fall for this trap. I'm old enough to know that this isn't just isolated by my experiences. This has been displayed and written about. Socrates, Plato, okay, philosophers, the Bible, and so forth. They've actually
He's just naming shit. He doesn't know what he's talking about. But I do want to know, do have something to show you right now. Let's listen to this guy right here.
Welcome back to Red Pill Examined, where I look at and debunk red pill talking points and expose red pill content creators as hypocrites, liars, and scammers. And for today's video, I want to show you guys that when it comes to red pill content creators and divorced red pill men, that their beef has never been with the family and divorce court or even the child support system, but that at the root of it all is their failure to take accountability for picking the wrong mate. And so we start with Coach Greg Adams, a divorced 47-year-old man who loves to talk about the system being rigged against men, and when speaking about his marriage and subsequent divorce, would have his followers believe that he was the victim. In fact, in his book, The Free Agent Lifestyle, he speaks of having been made a quote-unquote sacrificial lamb for his family, or a lean meat for the family courts to feast off of. And so for this video, I'm going to debunk his victim narrative by showing all of the red flags that he saw and was warned about prior to his marriage, but chose to ignore, that then led to his divorce and custody battle, which continues to this day. And so without further ado, here is the first red flag that Coach Greg Adams chose to ignore.
Said, CGA, what red flags did I overlook before my marriage? Without getting into specifics, the family dynamic that I overlooked, meaning the family was haters on each other. Their family was definitely all up in the business. And I should have took good notes of that. One of the red flags that I will acknowledge is that people in her family had a bunch of haters, right? Her family had a bunch of haters, meaning they're that hating, the hating family, the constant competition, the investigating, the inquiring, most of the information that you gave them, they used against you. And thus, I saw that really early and I didn't like that about them. And of course, that also manifests in your relationship talk as well. And they openly dismiss their male patriarchs. They oftentimes talk negative about their male patriarchs. And when you're in the beginning of the relationship, you can kind of control it. But should there be any dissension in your relationship, it's a Rapsky. And then she feeds into that. They feed into that. So hater ass families, you got to watch out for them. Hater ass families, bro.
So red flag number 1 is the family drama, as well as the women in the family not respecting the men and their authority. Let's move on to red flag number 2.
Says CGA, what red flags did I overlook before my marriage? Without getting into specifics, the family dynamic that I overlooked.
Oh, it sounds like to me he knows that he made a bad decision, but blames everyone else anyway. I mean, the thing is that he was old enough to know even back then that it is what it is. So what is he expecting? I mean, you're either a strong enough man to build people into being better people, or you're not, and you move on, and you move on quietly and peacefully. He doesn't want to do either of these.
Look, meaning the family was haters on each other. And I should have took notes of mental health.
He said the key word, should have. Should have. I'm going to drop the link just in case somebody wants to come up, because I don't want to roast this guy all by myself. It'd be too easy. Be too easy. Should have. The word should is a very strong word. The word should is a very strong word. The word should is a very strong word. It means you know. It means you knew and you didn't. That's what it means. Creative Solutions, welcome to the stage.
Hello, everyone. So, first and foremost, I don't even think that's a legitimate reason. It's because the woman in the family, I don't think that's a legitimate reason, because if you're a good man and you're a man of your word and you love your wife and you show that, I don't think that should affect what the family is saying. I think
agree.
that's a cop out.
I agree. I mean, it's supposed to be for better and for worse, and in most cases, usually it's the man who benefits with that saying. So yeah, that was kind of weird. Betterment of Black women, welcome to the stage. How you doing tonight? Betterment, you got your mute on.
Hey.
Oh, there you are. There we go.
Yeah. How's everyone doing?
Doing well, doing well. How about you?
I am good. I'm just tired of these fools. They just need to go away. You know,
yeah, unfortunately, they won't.
I mean, they're the ones that are ruining it for everybody. Just talking madness, just poisoning the minds of the youth. Like these dudes, they need to go. They're poison to Black people.
True.
Very poison.
Let me play a little bit more of this. Let's see where we're going to go with this.
Haters on each other. And I should have took notes of mental health. Mental health. That was a big one. Knowing what I know now, there were definitely red flags and signs, and actually latching on to that now to use against me. And it was used against me in the relationship. So there was always a lineage on. This is why I don't really sympathize for people who have mental health issues. I mean, because people use it as a weapon. They yield it like a sword. It's their protection. So that's the situation with that one. That if I definitely overlooked that. I actually got a warning.
He just said, I definitely overlooked that one. So he said, he didn't say he was fooled. He didn't say he was tricked. He didn't say he was bamboozled. He said, let me make sure he says it, because you guys will think that I did that I'm lying.
Definitely overlooked that. I actually got a warning. It's their protection. So that's the situation with that one. That if I definitely overlooked that. I actually got a warning from someone prior to my commitment and engagement.
Okay. This debunks, by the way, what he's saying right now debunks about 75 to 90% of his talking points that he tells these men.
Mhm.
Because if this is the pact, and it's, you know, he's making it clear he was not fooled. He made it clear that he was not fooled. So he has to take the complete L for this. And he's not going to. It's okay to take an L. It's okay to take the L. But he's not doing that. He's poisoning more men with his mentality of this cognizant dissonance, and also the fact in the matter of not taking responsibility for his own decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Let me play a little bit more, see where we're going with this.
About that being prevalent, and I missed it. I actually didn't miss it. I walked past it, and it's biting me in the butt to this day.
Yeah, and Easy Money Jones says, so he doesn't blame his cheating and not being home for the failure of his marriage.
They will
I guess he
always
doesn't.
skip over their responsibilities and what they done in the relationship. And instead of just taking accountability, saying, I did wrong, I messed up, and I'm taking full responsibility for that. But, you know, if they take full accountability, then it's going to go against everything that they said on their podcast.
Precisely.
So of course they're not going to take full responsibility because they want to keep up the narrative that it's the woman's fault.
Exactly. See, and that's why he never grew. He hasn't grown. He's still immature right now. Let's keep. Easy Money Jones also said this. I've always found it interesting that he demonizes black women despite the fact that his ex-wife is a white woman. He never talked bad about white women. Wow. That's how they are. That's how they are. Here we go.
Actually got a warning. You know
what warnings are for? They're the warnings. Warnings are like a yellow light before a red light, so you don't run it and get in an accident. A warning is like, you know, your engine light comes on in your car. A warning light is like when your computer beeps to you telling you that it's malfunctioning and needs something. A warning light is like, you know, it's when your battery's running low on your phone and you need to charge it so you don't go out in the middle of nowhere and not have communications. But for some reason, his ignorant ass looked way past it. He looked way past it.
Of course.
From someone prior to my commitment and engagement.
Now, for any self-aware man, this is more than enough to end the relationship. But apparently, not for Coach Greg Adams. So let's now move on to red flag number 3.
In this mommy wine culture, all right, this is, to me, it's completely despicable. It's an excuse to drink and make bad decisions, all right? Women feel that dealing with children all day entitles them to drink wine. 1 glass, 2 glasses, 3 glasses, maybe a bottle a night, in my opinion. And
how he's making it sound like it's a common practice when we all know that it's not. But let's keep it going anyway. Let's see who he's going to blame this time.
Experienced this. I've lived with a woman who was my wife who did this and didn't consider herself an alcoholic, but they were dependent on it. And they used this wine culture. Remember what a wino was? They were somebody who stood out in the corner with a brown paper bag. So this mommy wine culture essentially allows these women to consume this much alcohol without any consideration for
Femi from chat says, what the F is he talking about?
He don't make no sense. Like wine, everybody drinks wine. It's even men drink wine. Like wine is something to relax and calm your body. Just having, you know, something to get have something to drink so you can get your mind together. It's not like people are binging on wine like a beer, like they're going to a bar. No. Like people drink wine because it's something that they want to do. People are grown; they can do whatever they want. Why is he consistent on women drinking wine? It doesn't make any sense.
I think it's I'm sorry. Go ahead, creative. Go ahead.
I'm about to go in. So,
Go
first of
ahead. I
all,
want to hear it.
yeah. First of all, just imagine who she's married to. The man probably don't even come home every night. He's out all night, probably chasing another woman. She's in the house all day, you know, because they want to put the woman in the house and give her these kids. And now she stopped all her dreams to take care of these kids. And the man don't even treat her like anything. He treat her like shit. So what else she supposed to do? She gonna fucking drink the wine so she can wine herself away. The fuck if she's wine, maybe her life looks half as decent. Maybe that's why she's drinking the wine.
I think the reason why the woman is drinking the wine because she's trying to figure out a situation on how to get rid of his ass.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
has
right.
to drink the wine. Being married to him, like who? Like what? Look at the way he's talking about women. Do you guys really believe he can be romantic? Do you guys really believe he knows how to sit there and talk to a woman? Like, oh my God, it'll be like torture being married to him, being in a relationship with him. You gotta take 5 shots just to be in his presence.
That's so true. KB says this. KB says she drank because of him, and I think that's spot on right there.
Treatment. I've lived with a woman who was my wife who did this and didn't consider herself an alcoholic, but they were dependent on it. I've been in a situation where I was coaching my daughter's soccer team, and I had parents that knew my ex. My ex had for a year prior or two been spilling beans on me, spilling blood and burning bread on my name. And then later on, once they saw me, he was like, he seems like a good dude. He don't seem like nothing that she's been painting you as. Then they start thinking about all the bad shit the baby mama was doing.
That's because he put on a show for her relatives. That's why. And they might have been, he already said that they were a mess already, right? So
yeah,
they were going to sign in with him because he's a narcissist. They're a narcissist.
yeah, you know, 2 personalities go together.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Femi from the chat says he's not a good dude. He's lying. I don't think he is either. Just from this observation here, it sounds like to me a good dude would take responsibility.
But they're not going to do that though. They're going to keep blaming the woman for their faults because the woman has left them to so that she can keep her sanity. DJ, did your computer
That was weird, huh?
yeah.
It was a glitch.
Okay, we
a
back.
glitch
We
in the
back.
system.
It was a glitch. I was like, oh my God. Like
Somebody trying to do something, you know. Okay. So anyway, let's keep playing. Let's keep playing.
Because they knew allegedly she lived with a drug dealer. They knew she was an alcoholic. They knew. And so they was like, wait a minute. They knew she was an alcoholic. They knew she was an alcoholic. They knew she was an alcoholic.
Now, red flag number 3, which is alcoholism, needs further examination. Because what we know for a fact is that per Coach Greg Adams, his ex.
So if he's such a strong leader and so strong red pill leader of the red pill, wouldn't you think just fixing one little old woman he could do, right? Wouldn't you think that he could have fixed this whole drinking problem? Not if you're part of the problem,
right?
You know?
His wife was a heavy drinker during the marriage and became an alleged alcoholic after the divorce. Here's what else we know. His ex-wife also had to get a liver transplant due to cirrhosis of the liver, which is caused by excessive alcohol consumption. So now here's the $1 million question. Did Coach Greg Adams' ex-wife drink prior to the marriage? Well, the answer...
Remember now, she's Caucasian, but he complains about black women. Make that make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't.
There is yes. Just not excessively, according to Coach Greg Adams. What he's also stated on his live stream is that his ex-wife comes from a family of drinkers. And so when you take that into account, along with the fact that people with mental
Wait, let me see what it says.
wife comes from a family of drinkers. And so when you take that into account, along with the fact that people with mental health issues tend to self-medicate, then it all starts to make sense. Now, red flag number 4 is one that Coach Greg Adams has never mentioned to his followers, and that is financial issues, aka debt. What you guys are now seeing on the screen is the official bankruptcy record of Coach Greg Adams' ex-wife from 2007. Now, keep in mind that they both got married in 2004, so this was about 3 years into the marriage. So as we look at the paperwork, we see that she was $73,000 in debt at the time. However, what we specifically want to know is how much of that $73,000 came before the marriage or pre-2004. And as we look at the summary of her debts, we see that she owed $10,000 to Bank of America in credit card debt from 2003, $15,990 to First Financial Bank, also in credit card debt from 2001, $120 to the Gap from 1998, and she owed $14,100 in student loan debt from 2000, giving us a grand total of $40,210 from pre-2004 bills.
What? Did that's a pretty red flag right there, and he didn't see that. I guess that it was his preference, so they get a pass, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, somebody who's $30,000 in debt, it's not that they're in debt, it's how did you get in debt? And it sounds like to me a lot of them were credit cards and frivolous bills, except with the exception of the student debt, which is, they always hustle you there. So yeah, this is not looking cool, but see, he's trying to stick. Listen.
Now, one point that I want to make in light of all of this is that in life, you attract what you are. And so for Coach Greg Adams to attract someone with so many red flags, what does that say about him? Another point is that red pill men love to talk about how men are logical while women are emotional. But if that's indeed the case, then number one, how did Coach Greg Adams logically come to the conclusion that he should marry his ex-wife given all of her red flags?
Right.
And number two, how could he justify not getting a prenup to protect himself given said red flags? Well, that's because when it came to his marriage, Coach Greg Adams made an emotional decision and threw logic completely out the window. And so when red pill men say that women are emotional, please understand that most of the time, it's projection. Which is to say that they're taking an unwanted trait they don't like about themselves and attributing that.
I mean, just for example, look at all these emotional men we see here in the red pill community. Some of them don't even claim they're red pill, but they are. They basically are. They're kind of like how Austin Holloman doesn't want to be seen as being a 304, but he's basically a 304 or a trick. It's one or the other. He can pick, but it's one or the other. So with that said, one of the biggest issues that Black men have, with the exception of our obsession with sex, is the lack of accountability. And that combination, that combination together is very dangerous. It's very dangerous because if you don't take accountability, you can't really grow as a person. You can't. You can get a little smarter. You might be able to get a little bit more devious, but you don't grow as far as your character. You don't.
To women. And this is where personal accountability comes in, where you can't just blame the family courts or the child support system, because all they're trying to do at that point is make the best out of a bad situation that was caused by your poor choices. And instead of admitting to being a prisoner of his emotions, what Coach Greg Adams does is he gets on YouTube every day and uses his podcast as an outlet for his grief and anger at his ex-wife.
Exactly. And that's all. That's what the majority of them do. This isn't the majority of them do. They're either blaming their mother, their middle school girlfriend, their high school girlfriend, their college girlfriend, but never themselves. Never themselves. So it's like this. If you're blaming women for your problem, then you're admitting that you're weaker than women. Let me say it one more time. If you're blaming women for your problem, then you have acknowledged that you are weaker than women. Because if you were stronger, which means mental strength as well, means perseverance, means character, you would have just kept it moving. You would have just, okay, that didn't work out. I see what I did wrong. Let me move on. Problem solved. But you don't do that.
They don't it's like I said, they don't want to take accountability for their action. They just rather blame things on the woman in the marriage instead of just taking accountability for marrying her, you know?
Exactly. Yes, you can't get laid. She was in debt. She was in debt before. She was in debt before, during, and after the Coach Greg Adams experience. In the house. Hey, lady, in the house. You can't get laid in the house. Spro Show is here. In the house, Orlando's. In the house. I think King Sigma's still here. He's probably hiding out right now. Because this is his man right here. This is man. He was supposed to be here. You supposed to be here to defend him. But I understand, bro. I understand, bro. I'm tearing them up. I'm tearing them up here. And it's unfortunately, and I don't like doing this, it's easy work. Nubia Gold is in the house. Femi from the chat is in the house. B is in the house. K Brown is in the house. Let's keep it going. Let's keep this going.
Continuously nags about being a victim and about how the system is rigged against men.
Conscious Mind Love is in the house.
And so he'll continue to propagate the gender war by showing his followers TikTok videos of men being treated unfairly, or articles and news stories of worst case scenarios when it comes to divorce, and use that along with misinterpreted data as evidence for why men shouldn't
And
get.
here's the funny part. Most of those worst case scenarios don't involve Black women.
Mm-hmm.
They don't. Jonathan Majors, right? Dr. Dre, Tiger Woods. Guess what? All that prenup shit that they needed real bad, that happened to them brothers, and it had nothing to do with Black women. That's the weird thing.
But then what the weird thing is that they don't sign prenups with non-Black women.
Yeah.
Most of them don't.
No,
but when it comes
they sign a pass.
Yeah, but when it comes to a Black woman, they want to sign a prenup real quick. Mm-hmm. But you know, prenups can always be thrown out.
Yep.
They can always be thrown out.
Let's keep it going. Let's keep this going. B said this. Bill Cosby. I mean, think about it. Think about all the Black men that got, all the famous Black men, right? That got took. I would guarantee you that at least the majority of them, when they get took good, it does not involve a Black woman.
No.
Let's just put it that way. I just needed to make sure I reinforce that.
Married and start a family. Now, unfortunately, telling men not to get married also promotes a depopulation agenda, but that's a story for another day. Nevertheless, the purpose of this video was to simply show that when it comes to red pill men, but more specifically Coach Greg Adams, that it's never been about the family courts or the child support system, but that it all started with picking the wrong mate, despite seeing and being warned of multiple red flags, and that everything else that preceded that, whether it be positive or negative.
Let me pause this for a minute. I don't know if I believe him because I'm looking at the screen and I don't see any timeouts, but King Sigma says you guys are timing him out. But King Sigma, why don't you go here? I'll tell you what. I'm gonna put out the red carpet for you because we got a lot of questions for you anyway. Okay. But yeah, come on through. Come up. Come to the stage. So but yeah, Maz, unless he says Sam, okay. Okay, so it's true. You did get time out. Okay, but yeah, let's let him up. Let's ask him some questions. You know, let's ask him some questions because you know Tam's in the chat and we got some questions to ask.
Was just a byproduct of that decision. And so now for Coach Greg Adams to play the victim card, knowing that he had every opportunity to end his relationship pre-marriage, shows that he, just like the woman he criticizes, will avoid accountability at all costs.
Right. I mean, that tells the whole story right there. Yeah. Okay. What Tam saying about Chester? Talking trash, then lies like a coward. Then when he's caught. Yep. In the house, Nubia says, Tam. She's happy to see Nubia. It's good seeing Nubia. It really is really good seeing Nubia. Everybody say hello to Nubia.
Hi, Nubia.
Hi, Nubia.
You know, Nubia Gold has that golden heart, that's for sure. So let's go to let's see what's going on here. I got one more thing. Let's go to a commercial.
¿Qué pasó, mamita? Soy Teripi, alter ego to the queen maker. It seems a lot of you chicas are getting played by these busters. So it looks like y'all need a lot of game. My homegirl, she came up with this book, The Game, 41 Shades of Men, The Pursuit of Subduing Yushu. Chica, I know you're familiar with this one. The Green Card Man. If you are getting played by the Green Card Man, I'm gonna assume that you're desperate because a lot of people from my country, they run this game all the time. Why don't you know this already? The only reason he dealing with you, porque is a pobrecito in his own country. It's poor. And you marry him and you bring him to the US. Y loca, chica, loca. Rhea, necesitas este libro porque es fuego.
Henry Mars.
You need the book because it's fire.
Breaking news tonight, we are continuing.
Strum is in the house. Henry Mars is in the house. Tam's in the house. Nubia's in the house. B is in the house. You Can't Get Laid is in the house. Easy Money Jones is in the house. Creative Solutions. Let's keep this going. I'm gonna play this, and I'll tell you how it ties into what we're talking about right now.
Our team coverage of a shooting that left 3 people dead in Northwest Austin with the killer on the loose. The FBI, Austin Police, DPS, and the Round Rock Police Department are all part of this manhunt for 41-year-old Stephen Broderick. He used to be a Travis County Sheriff's detective, and we'll tell you more about his history, including charges he is already facing in just a few minutes. But first, the shootings happened near Great Hills Trail and Rain Creek Parkway, right by the Arboretum. Throughout the night, that scene has cleared up. That's where we find KBU senior reporter Tony Poletsky. And Tony, walk us through how all of this unfolded today.
Well, Jenny, authorities received what they called an active shooter call just before noon. And as you can imagine, that then triggered a massive police and medical response here to this scene. Jenny, tonight, it is a very different scene. It's almost impossible to underscore the difference that a few hours have made. There's hardly anyone out here tonight. Great Hills Trail is open. And as I look across the parking lot earlier today that was flooded with police vehicles as well as emergency vehicles, that parking lot is essentially empty at this hour. But earlier this afternoon, there was a massive manhunt in this area for the suspect in this shooting. His name is Stephen Broderick. Authorities were searching for him by both.
Pause that right now. Stephen Broderick. I wonder who that guy is. We're going to find out in a minute. Everybody, don't forget to hit the like. If you haven't subscribed feel free to do so. And at the end of the video and live, if you didn't say everything you wanted to say in the chat or on the panel, feel free to leave a comment. We pay attention to that very much. So put your comment. We might even make a video off of your comment or live off your comment or something off your comment, just from your comment. So let me keep playing this.
Air and by ground. They spent many hours this afternoon doing so. As part of that, they also issued a shelter in place for residents in this area, urging them to stay inside their homes and to call 911 if they saw something suspicious. But around 5 o'clock this afternoon, Interim Police Chief Joseph Chacon announced to the public that they now believe that Broderick has likely left this area, at least this immediate area, and now they are turning to other investigative strategies trying to find him. Of course, one concern is because of his training and his history in the law enforcement profession, they are worried and fear that he might be able to use that training to try to circumvent some of their efforts. But Jenny, as you can imagine, out here tonight where 3 people were killed earlier this afternoon, the big hope is that law enforcement is quickly able to get him into custody as safely as possible without anyone else getting hurt. Jenny?
That is the hope. Tony Pulaski reporting for us in Northwest Austin. Thank you so much, Tony. Now tonight.
All right, there he is. Don Chris, if you can show me a quick glimpse of yourself in the camera, just so I know that it's you. I will let you up on the stage. Okay, so basically this is Mr. Broderick. Why did I bring up Mr. Broderick? Guess what? Okay, face. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, Don, how you doing? Don, you there?
Are you gonna interrupt me or are you gonna let me talk?
We're not having that here.
Yeah.
You better calm it down.
Yeah, what's going on?
I
Like,
guess he
are
has
we
to go.
is it another troll session times 2?
Yeah. Hey, they make the night interesting.
I'm telling you.
Here we go. All right. So guess what? Believe it or not, I'm gonna let O'Shea break it down.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson. Back at it again. Personally don't like Coach Greg Adams. He's not a colleague of mine. Me and him will definitely never work together. I personally don't like Coach Greg Adams. I see him as one of these guys who is in the bigger Manosphere community, and he comes to the black sector and steals from the blacks and takes it back to his fan base. So, which is why I call him Poach Greg Adams instead of Coach Adams. But nevertheless, a lot of people like him. I don't, but a lot of people do. He seems to have a really big fan base, and kudos to him. He's in the business. He takes it serious. That I can say. But what's my personal feelings about Mr. Adams here? I want to talk about this other guy, Stephen Broderick, okay? Stephen Broderick was a former deputy sheriff in Texas, and he was married to a young lady by the name of Amanda, okay? He had a daughter named Alyssa, and some gentleman, I don't know who he was dating or she was dating, Willie Simmons. He's 18. I'm pretty sure that must have been a friend of the daughter, okay, or her daughter. But what happened was in 2020, while he was still a deputy sheriff, his wife told on him that he was sexually assaulting, I don't know if it was one of their kids or someone else, and that put him in jail, okay? He had to resign from his job. I don't know how true it was. It could have been, not the truth. I don't know. But that brought him to the content of, I believe, several people in the Red Pill. One of them, Coach Greg Adams. All right. Now, Coach Greg Adams.
Uh-oh.
What?
Yeah, this isn't good. This isn't good here. I mean,
What happened?
now they're cultivating which could possibly be, angry men, making men angry, doesn't mix. So let me play it back again.
You know,
Let's-
Coach Greg Adams and O'Shea Duke Jackson, they sort of favor each other. I just noticed that.
Oh, you mean they're both ugly?
I didn't say that. I didn't say any of that. I'm just saying they, if you just squint, they kind of favor each other. And I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Tam, welcome to the stage.
No shade, no shade.
So basically, this is what's going on. He was a coach. The guy who deleted his family was a Coach Greg Adams fan.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm not
The
surprised.
question: why is he called Coach Greg Adams? Did he used to like coach sports or something?
I guess he's calling himself a dating coach.
No, he used to really coach. He used to coach. I don't know. He used to be a coach in college or high school. He's a real coach.
Oh, okay, got it.
Well, he ain't no coach no more. Unless he's coaching people to do the wrong thing. Let's grind through a little bit more of O'Shea, and then we'll move to the next one.
Adams previously was married himself and was then put on child support, which is why he's very passionate about child support and things like that, because
okay, so that's why he's mad again. Okay,
he can relate to how that feels. He can relate to a woman telling something on him that he feels isn't true. And so Stephen Broderick started to visit the podcast or the show of Coach Greg Adams. But however, Coach Greg Adams is now being implicated in being a reason as to why this gentleman did what he did. So now they're trying to come for Coach Greg Adams and slam him. And again, as a guy who doesn't like Coach Greg Adams, I think
pause this. Easy Money Jones says he coached in high school and college. He last coached at Western New Mexico. He resigned abruptly in 2012. Wow, that was a long time ago. True.
I think it's BS. Okay, it's completely BS. Coach Greg.
So it's a remainder of the red pill. So that's the problem.
Adams, from what I understand, does not violate any YouTube guidelines. Coach Greg Adams, from what I understand, is not saying any hate speech towards people that I've heard him. He could have. I've never heard it. I'm not saying that he doesn't. But clearly, Coach Greg Adams cannot be responsible for this. This man is responsible for this. Okay? I don't, and when a guy is consuming certain things and listening to certain things and doing things like whatever it could take. You don't know if the person's on drugs. You don't know what's going on. This man clearly
now O'Shea's trying to make sure that nobody blames the.
Okay, I will.
Yeah.
I will say this. And I'm looking at this objectively. If you decide to delete your family or commit such a heinous crime, and you're a fan of someone on YouTube, I'm sorry. I agree. You can't just blame that person on YouTube. You are responsible for your own actions. You can't just say, "Oh, well, he was a fan of so and so it's so and so's fault that he did this." No, you can be a fan of someone and not delete someone. You can be a fan of someone and not commit a crime. So if he did this, and he was a coach, what's his name, Coach Greg Adams?
Yeah, you got it.
Then it's not Coach Greg Adams' fault that he did that. You decided to do that if you did it. So, I mean, as ridiculous as some of these podcasters and YouTubers are, if you decide to commit a crime, you can't put it on someone else. That's on you.
True.
And I wanted to say, O'Shea Duke Jackson is acting like his content is any better. He does, yeah. He does the same kind of ratchet ass content also, so he ain't no better either.
Oh yeah, I remember his history. He used to talk very vile against black women, and that whole content got deleted, and he all of a sudden he's doing entertainment.
Right.
O'Shea Du Jackson is just, it's a good thing he found something because he's lacking in other areas. I won't say what.
Tam. Oh goodness, Tam.
What?
Damn.
I didn't say anything.
But you couldn't have said it.
I'm very
Oh,
glad he's
goodness.
found something. He's found YouTube fame because he's lacking in other areas, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, that's all he's got. I mean, yeah, I mean, he has no character. That's for sure. That's for sure. Let me play a little bit more.
I'll put it like this.
Has an issue.
I'll put it like this. It's a good thing Trick Daddy and Flavor Flav have music because they're lacking in other areas. Okay, proceed.
Oh, man. B says this. B says a lot of these men who are committing these deplorable crimes come from the red pill community. This is not an anomaly. It is true. It is true. Heathen Queen is in the house. Let's keep this going.
With his wife. When the man shot his own daughter. Okay, how sick of an individual do you have to be to do something like that? A man who was a police officer, who had previous military training, who was out on bail on the sexual assault charges, went and got a gun and murdered his whole entire family. Something's wrong with this guy. Okay, this was a guy who felt like I've lost it all. And a lot of times when men feel like that, they will come to the Manosphere or some sort of red pill content, but the red pill is not what's making men kill.
But it's still weird that they're not going to like a self-help or a therapist on YouTube. They're going to the red pill community. He said it himself. I need to play that over again because that's very important. That is super important. Let me make a couple adjustments here.
I can kind of agree with that. If you're dealing with severe issues, I don't think running to the red pill community or the Manosphere is the thing to do. I think you should get therapy.
Yeah.
That part I can agree with.
My
Okay,
thing
counseling one, whatever works.
My thing is these men have their preferences and they still not happy. Still not happy. Like what else do you want? Like
in the house, melanated vessel. B is in the house. Nubia, a lady's in the house. Okay, but that's the weird thing is that if there was, the thing is this, it seems it's like this. Let's take Tam's point of view, and which is accurate, that just because somebody was looking or consuming red pill content doesn't mean the red pill content or Manosphere content made them do what they do. But don't you find it weird that it always seems like these demented men are attracted to it? That's the point I want to make. Is they're attracted to it. So a certain mentality, just like the same thing as a supremacist, he's going to be interested in a certain level of a certain type of content. You will rarely see a supremacist go to a self-help for therapy or something like that. And as you've seen, there's a lot of therapists on YouTube. However, they do go to these fringe type channels, and Manosphere, it tends to be one of their favorite stops. It seems to be one of their favorite locations. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that it made them like that, but I'm just saying that, if somebody goes there, you might want to know. It's kind of like going to somebody who's attracted to going to the bad part of town all the time.
Yeah, it kind of does warp your mind a little bit. It does.
Yeah. So let me keep this going.
People. In fact, the red pill doesn't tell you that.
DJ
a lot of
Torch,
red pill communities,
Torch,
from
I'm
my
sorry. Can you
understanding,
pause
because
it
the
real
black
quick?
manosphere operates in many.
Can you pause it real quick? I'm sorry. DJ, can you say your iconic line for us for a minute?
God darn it, are you gonna let me talk? Was that
There
good?
it is. Everybody has an iconic line. Proceed.
I kind of, you know, cleaned it up a little bit. That's true. I kind of like saying that. But see, over here, you don't have to worry about, you know, yelling over people here because it's peaceful here. You know, it's a safe space.
Facets similar to what the global white manosphere does, but in all actuality and reality, what the black manosphere, I mean the white manosphere, from what I understand, these are guys who have went through things, and I would consider Coach Greg Adams, people like Fresh and Fit podcast, people like Donovan Sharp. They're not here. They're over there. Okay, they're in the mainstream manosphere. I would consider guys like that in the mainstream, and if anything else, I would consider those people to give advice to people about rebuilding one's life, understanding the setback, understanding the true nature of women. Now you understand. Now you can go ahead and live your life. If I'm not mistaken, isn't that what Coach Greg Adams talks about in his whole ideology of free agent lifestyle? Now you're able to pick and choose what you want to do. You're not tied down to anything because you have revamped yourself. I believe that's what he's talking about. And I think to accuse him of that, and I'm seeing people bringing his 21 convention clips up, you know, his talking about fat women and all this. I mean, listen, you know, you got people being shot every day in hip hop.
This real quick. This dude talks about fat women. O'Shea talks about when. What's the funny thing is that, from what I heard, he has a child with a woman who is quite heavy. So that's how these guys
These dudes are
weird.
weirdos. They go around talking about a woman's size and what her pant size are, and these guys are the same type of dudes that go after these women.
Mm-hmm.
So if I were them, I would not be talking.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, wait a minute.
They
Well,
love
you know,
them
they
some
love the swim.
Roseannes. They love their Roseannes.
That's for real. That's for real. Let me see if I can bring this up. Wait. Let me bring this. Okay. Oh no, you guys are not gonna like me for this.
Chester, what is your dress size? What is your dress size, Chester? What is your dress size, Chester? Before we continue the show, you are to answer me right now. Chester, what is your dress size?
What is it? What is it, Chester?
What is it, Chester?
9 or 10, 9, 10 or 11. We saw your photo.
Size?
Is Chester King Sigma?
Yeah, that's him.
What's your dress size?
You have to come up. You have to come up for that King Sigma.
What is your dress size? Chester, we know you wear dresses, so what's your dress size? Okay, go ahead. He's
Here we go.
about it.
Listen, do not think girl sitting on a yacht in Miami ain't giving that poom poom up. She going below deck. Trust me. Trust me.
You have
fact. I done seen well-known rappers and artists leave women in the middle of the ocean. Oh, you ain't giving up no poom poom? You on our yacht? Here, give her a life vest. You can swim back to shore. I done seen that happen in Cabo, Mykonos. I done seen it happen in most.
You know what that is? That's just, well, of course it's disgusting, but I assume I'm not the legal expert here, but I assume that's some sort of a crime.
Yeah, you could get sued for that. What the hell?
A lot more than that. I mean, leaving people in the middle of the ocean, that's especially if something bad happens to them.
Mm-hmm.
So Man, that's
Yeah, these guys, they think they can do whatever they want and don't follow the law. But
right.
the law is going to catch up with them.
Yep. Yep. You can't get laid. You're right. He is fat.
Who is this guy again?
This is Angry Man.
No.
I think it's Angry Man. We'll find out. He looks
That's
like him.
not Angry Man. They don't look like him.
Yeah. He has the
Well,
beard and the hat, so he has the angry man aesthetic, but I don't think that is Angry Man, is it?
let's find out. Let's see what.
Multiple places. Oh, you ain't clapping no cheeks? Oh yeah, go ahead and get her. Hey, John, get her a life vest real quick.
But I thought the Manosphere said they want classy women. They don't want trashy women like that.
Right. Exactly.
Jesus. I've seen women get put out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, the Indian Ocean.
The Indian Ocean.
Seen it.
He's either lying or he needs to go report some people.
So what point is he trying to, I just want to know what point he's trying to make. Continue playing it.
Now, let me give y'all some context. I was on TikTok, right? And I saw this man's live. Now, I've seen his lives before, and he is always on some misogynistic BS. Most of the time, he is always talking about how money is his only bargaining chip to coerce women into sex. Now, I watched a live where he said that he pays for sex with attractive women that are up to his standards, anywhere from $40 to $200. And I find it ironic that he says
Those are some low standards.
women that are up to his standards, as he sits there looking like a hat fishing Ninja Turtle. But you know what? I digress. To each his own. Now, for context, for this particular video, I saw his live and he was talking about taking a woman out on a date and how that entitles him to sex. Like, he was talking about taking a woman out on a $200 date, that was an investment in her, and it also entitles him to sex with her.
Absolutely not. Nope. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. See, this is what I'm talking about, the hypocrisy. Like, they talk out of both sides of their mouth. First, you want a traditional classy woman, but then you're saying things like, oh, on the first date, you need to put out because I spent $200. What kind of nonsense is that?
I agree. I mean, I think it's disgusting, but that's how these guys are thinking these days. It's like,
yeah, they really don't want a classy woman. They want a prostitute. And they're trying to, instead of paying the prostitute, they're actually taking these women on dates.
Mm-hmm.
And expecting the woman to drop their pennies just because they paid a couple of bucks while going out. No.
Right.
They're not classy themselves. I'm sorry. These guys that do that, they have no class.
Then what I was able to actually get on screen record was him talking about if girls are on a yacht party, that the men that invited them are entitled to their bodies and they must give up their quote unquote poom poom or be left in the middle of the ocean with a life jacket. Now, he said in another part of the video that why would men invite women to party or to associate with them if they didn't expect sex? I guess women don't have anything to offer other than sex, not conversation, not good company. Just the only use that they have is to be used as a personal only hole and nothing else. And you know what? I really find this whole conversation to be distasteful and disgusting because money cannot and should never be compared to the act of physical intimacy. Money can always be remade and replaced. It comes and goes. Money can never be compared to a woman's body because if a woman has sex with you and she regrets it, she can never take that back. She can never take back the act of allowing you inside her body. But you as a man, you can always make more money. And my thing is that y'all stay judging a woman's sexual history, but want her to drop her drawers to any man who spends $1. That doesn't make any sense to me. It's not even a logical argument.
Well said. Well said.
Thank you. They say we don't want women that are ran through, but on the first date, she's supposed to give it up. How does that work?
Exactly.
And then you know what? There's also another layer to this conversation, because as y'all saw, that there was a woman on his panel. And you know what? I really don't like using the word or the term pick me, because I really believe it oversimplifies. And sometimes it makes light of a real serious issue. But in this case, I'm going to use it. You see this woman, she's definitely a pick me, allowing this man to talk about attempted murder, mind you, leaving a woman out in the middle of the ocean because she
Leaving somebody out in the middle of the ocean, man or woman, that's pretty much a death sentence.
Yeah.
Unless it's some very, very, very busy, sometimes there's some waterway where a lot of ships go by. But in the middle of the ocean, I don't know if that's really true. Nubia breaks it down like this. Over New Year's, I went through the same thing, being pressured for SEX, simply going on a date with a guy to a fancy restaurant. We don't owe you SEX in exchange for a nice dinner. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
What'd you say, SEX?
Yeah.
What are we? 9?
Hey, I'm just trying to get that, algorithm,
You remember when
So-
you were a kid and there's certain bad words you don't want to say, so you spell them out like SEX? Really, DJ Toy? We are too grown.
Yeah.
I hear that.
you don't want to have sex, and not giving an ounce of pushback on that. Not telling these men that it's unhealthy and predatory to think and behave in such a manner. And in my opinion, these are the type of women that need to be ousted from the female community, because they are the ones that allow their boyfriends, husbands, uncles, brothers to touch girls, and then they turn their heads or they blame the girls for being too fast. They're the ones that can see a woman being domestically abused and ask the woman, what did you do to make him mad? Or they can be like the women that are the relatives of Jeremy Brown. They can see him viciously attack a woman and then turn around and make a knockout king shirt. You cannot trust these type of women. They care more about male validation than they care about their own well-being or the lives of their fellow sisters.
Cough,
And
cough,
the fact that she was
big
an older
Pearly.
woman.
Yeah, that
I'm sorry.
knockout king thing is
I think that describes Big Pearly to a T. Go ahead.
Yep. Basically. I remember when she had a live that was what was it about? It was equal rights, equal lefts, where she was literally promoting domestic DV. Yeah, I know. Okay, yeah. I mean, well, I know we're not kids, but I'm still gonna say DV.
No, DV is. I understand what she's saying. Listen, the thing about Just Pearly things is, I truly don't believe she believes 70% of the crap she spews. I think this girl is just so desperate for male validation, and she's achieved it. A lot of men love her. You know what I mean?
She's a
She just,
grifter anyway. She just
yeah,
using
a
these
lot
guys.
of yeah, exactly. Creative Solutions. I think a lot of toxic men love her because she spews their BS. She's like their little ambassador. I mean, let's be real. Just Pearly Things is very average looking. She's not some gorgeous bombshell. So I think, well, the only way to in her mind, I think the only way she feels she can get male validation is by being the red pill spokesperson, ambassador, whatever you want to call it. That's what I truly think about her. That is my honest opinion about her.
Well said.
She's sexy. Okay, Chester, we know you like very bland, average at best looking white women. We get it. We get it. All a woman has to do is be white and you are head over heels in love with her. We know that, Chester. We know you find her sexy, even though if you shave her head.
Even though she can be butt ugly,
Even though if you shave her head
overweight.
and you put her in basketball shorts, she can easily look like a dude. We know you find her sexy and attractive. All she has to do is be white. Okay, we remember when you told us that your last girlfriend, may she rest in peace, was a drug addict who was unemployed. Okay? That is your type. You like bland white women, okay? We get it. So we understand that you find just pearly things sexy. She's your type. We get it. Go ahead.
Isn't it weird? I just thought about it. It's weird that the men who complain most about black women are the ones that are with white women. Think about it.
Mhm.
Or with
Well,
somebody, some sort of preference.
but I just don't get why they even complain about black women when they're not with them. Like, dude, like, I think in their minds, and I'm just gonna come out and say this, they secretly still like black women, and they can't find a way to control us. And
You mean they
it
can't
really
grow
doesn't.
up?
Yeah, but they secretly deep down inside still like black women.
There go Chester's Bay right there.
Yeah.
There goes Chester's Bay.
Yep, right next to a notorious, not a notorious, you know who.
Chester's celebrity crush is Roseanne. Is Roseanne and Rosie O'Donnell.
Not Rosie O'Donnell. I thought she was a lesbian.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Chester loves him some Rosie O'Donnell. Don't you, Chester? You love you some Rosie O'Donnell, don't you?
Yeah,
You love you some Roseanne.
Yep.
Look at him. Look at all you see. You pulled that picture of just pearly things, and he's in love.
I know. Let me go
Look at
back to it. But this black woman on the screen right now is my reply. That's how I'd look if I was looking at Chester.
Look at that, Chester. Don't look at Chester.
What?
You love that square body, don't you? You love that. You love that. You love that bland. You love all that bland, no seasoning, don't you, Chester?
Yeah, but everybody in the chat is going like this. Everybody in the chat's going like this.
No, I'm happy for Chester. He loves him some bland, average white women.
Yeah.
He loves him some Roseanne. He loves him some Rosie O'Donnell. We know you like that, Chester.
Yeah, like I bet you that he has them posted up on the walls.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Come on up, Chester.
Huge fan.
Pull up to the panel, Chester. Pull up to the panel.
Yeah. Here you go, Chester. Here you go.
Pull up to the panel, Chester.
Yeah. Come on up. Come on up. Tell us what's going on in the YouTube streets. You know? I probably blocked half your friends, but that's okay. You can still come up. Nubia, them husky trailer
Come on,
park
Chester.
don't like us.
Chester, we're gonna let you talk. We're gonna let you talk.
We're gonna let you talk.
We're not gonna interrupt you. We're gonna let you talk.
We see this all the time. Even
Chester, get up here. We'll make a deal with you. If you come up here, we'll put just Pearly Things picture just for you for the entire stream.
We'll keep it up just for you. Here. I'm gonna try to tempt you again. Here we go. I'm gonna tempt you again. There you go. Ooh.
There you go. There you go, Chester. That's your bae right there. That's your bae right there.
That's your bae.
That's your
All
bae.
the way.
Bland, uninteresting. That's what you like, Chester.
You better hurry up, Chester. I'm about to take her off the screen if you don't come up.
Yeah. I mean, Hailey Bieber, you don't like that. You don't like Margot Robbie. You don't like actual pretty women that happen to be white. You love you some just pearly things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The one that looks like the actual Joker.
Because that's his name, B. His name is Chester, and he thinks he's someone named King Sigma. His real name's Chester.
Let's listen to. Let's see what this dude has to say about his girl.
Definitive stance. I can no longer support or associate myself with the Just Pearly Things platform. And for those who still wish to,
assuming that means the same as Fresh and Funky, because they did the exact same thing.
Wait, I want to hear this. Wait,
they went one further.
Wait, just Pearly Things. Her people are leaving her. What?
I don't think they're leaving.
Why did
I
he
don't
say he's
think
leaving?
so.
No,
What?
he said he's leaving. He's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is from a while ago.
Wasn't he one of her supporters? I want to hear what he has to say.
Me too. Play that beautiful
Support
blue footage.
voices of women that are down into the space who agree with the particular message that we put up on Jump Street. I want you guys to go check out and follow the following female content creators. All right, I got a list of their names right here.
Oh,
I don't want to
shit.
forget anybody.
Here we go.
Chantel Simone.
Oh my God. She's just as bad as Pearly. She's just black. That's the difference. She's just as bad. She's just as bad. Let's see what other mammy he's gonna mention.
The Crimson Cure.
Oh my God.
The who?
The Crimson Cure.
The hell
I wouldn't call her a cure though.
Muslim hag.
Yeah. Let's see what else he's gonna say.
Danica Marie.
Oh my God. He's
That
got
sounds-
all the hustlers.
He doesn't mess with them anymore?
Oh no, he does. He messes with them. He's endorsing them.
Oh, okay.
Six the Goddess.
Now we just went over her the other day. Oh, okay.
Melanie King.
Yeah. You mean the hypocrite king? I think she even beat out. No, she didn't beat out Pearly, but she was pretty close.
And of course, Shahrazad Ali.
So yeah, this guy right here, one of the most promiscuous guys. He can't even remember. In fact, let me bring that video up real quick. He could not even remember. Let me go on this. He could not even remember how many sexual partners he's had. Not a clue. I mean, I understand. Hey, I can give him a break on. Okay, well, at least get it. He could not even get. He does not even know the ballpark. Which?
Oh Lord Jesus! I hope he's been tested. I hope he didn't raw dog all of them.
I mean, this is what he has to bring. This is what's going on with them.
In terms of dating and marrying. In fact, actually, Black women are high in dating because we give up sex the most.
All right, take your shirt off.
That was
Excuse me?
Yours.
We're doing all.
Yeah, you heard what she said.
I mean, just because you want to be openly promiscuous don't put that on Black women.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and what's funny is that she's saying it. It shows you how uneducated or ignorant she is, because I believe yesterday during the podcast, I mean not podcast, but the live stream yesterday, the one that had high-powered podcast on here. I put up a graph that showed that Black women are on the bottom of the list as far as sexual activity. So basically what it is this Black men, we are the only ones giving our women that bad rap. Let's see if I can bring it up real quick.
What's her name again?
Oh, that's Melanie King.
Melanie King. Okay.
Yeah, I call her Melody DeCane.
She's a YouTuber, I guess.
Yep, she is.
Is she married? She's married, right?
No, she got divorced about a year and a half ago.
Oh.
Yeah, let's see if I can find this real quick. Wow, okay. Oh, here we go. There we go. I can't believe I found it that fast. My brain must be working. Those vitamins must be kicking in. So let me go to the bottom here. So this is, I'm going to keep doing this too. So, Okay, let me go to hookups. Right here, right?
What's this?
Look at this. This is Caucasian women. This is Caucasian men.
Mm-hmm.
This is black women way down here.
Mm.
This is black men way up here. That's why I have a
number
problem.
of hookups. Huh.
Yeah. That's why I have a problem. That's why I have a problem. Because look at that.
Okay,
Look at
Chester,
that.
you're in luck. Big Pearly's gonna put out for you.
Yeah.
According
that.
to
Maybe
these
that.
stats.
I just wanted to show that real quick. Let's go back into this and see.
All type that we're doing the most. We dominate rap.
What?
In the culture that is very sexual, especially in the US. So a lot of men see us as easy targets to, to have sex with.
You're not gonna get down to the skivvies.
And we have the highest rate in children outside of marriage, wedlock.
What?
And so men see
Hey, Future in the house. Drums in the house. Mel's in the house. H.T. Baldwin is in the house. Orlando's is still here. Let's keep it going. A lady is here. You can't get late. Is here.
Yes, as bed wenches, easy to have sex with.
You're not gonna
I'm
get
sorry,
that.
hold on, pause it. What the hell did she just say? As what winters?
Sexual, especially in the US. So a lot of men see us as easy targets to, to have sex with.
You're not gonna get down to the skivvies.
And we have the highest rate of having children outside of marriage, wedlock.
What?
And so men see us as bed wenches, easy to have sex with.
You're not gonna get down to the
Does
skivvies.
she even know the
But they don't see
definition
us-
of bed wench?
Probably not. I mean, she just heard some guy say it and she said, with me and my feminine self, so I'm going to say the same thing.
What an
But
idiot
she
woman.
must be out of date.
What an
Because
idiot
I don't
woman.
know where she has been all her life, but according to statistics, black women and having children has gone down dramatically. I don't know how many generations she is talking about, but black women, well, especially in Gen Z, are not having children like that.
Exactly.
as valuable wives.
You're not gonna get down to the skivvies. You're not gonna get down to the skivvies. You're not gonna get down to the skivvies.
I get to dictate. I get to dictate. I get to dictate what. Take your shirt off.
So here is a bonus reason as to why the 90-day rule doesn't work. If you want to see the full breakdown where I give 5 different reasons.
So remember now, let me pause this for a minute. Remember now, she was just complaining about how black women were too easy, right? Now she's here complaining about how a 90-day rule doesn't work.
She's an idiot. She clearly doesn't know what the word bed wench even means. I'm sorry, but a pet peeve of mine is when people throw around words they don't really know the meaning of because they want to sound smarter than they are. She's a fool. She's an idiot. A real idiot. Go ahead.
Why it doesn't, make sure you check out my channel, Melanie King Official. The video is right there now. But this is going to be a bonus reason, and it stings a man's ego.
So it stings a man's ego if you let them wait a proper amount of time until you get to know them. That's what she's trying to convince you of. But remember now, she first said that black women are too easy. Huh. Interesting.
Exactly. Which is it? Which is it? I can't stand hypocrisy. Pick one.
I don't get it. I do not get it.
And his pride. It is basically telling a man for 90 days to be sexually rejected.
You're not gonna get down to the skivvies.
Y'all want me to take my shirt off? Y'all want me to?
See, this is weird because this happened not so long after her blue shirt, I'll call it the blue shirt speech she was making. So she's got to know that she's contradicting. She's literally contradicting
Exactly.
her acts. I mean,
yeah, she's in the presence of a man on live, on camera, with a red cup in her hand, speaking sexually. Y'all want me to take my... Are you kidding me? So you're bashing your own race of women, meanwhile acting like what you're bashing.
boom. There it is.
You
That's
say, oh, black
exactly
women are
that.
this and that. So you're tearing down your fellow women, your fellow black women, and then you're in a live with a man behaving that way, just so you can prove to somebody that that's how we all behave. No,
Right.
that's how you behave.
Somebody super chat $5,000. I'll do it.
I think she would too. I think she would.
Really? That's all you're worth? Your body is not your
Yeah.
temple. You don't value yourself. You're putting yourself out there for $5,000.
Yep. A lady says she's talking about herself, and she must be.
You been to a sex party?
What the what?
Yeah.
We need to start advocating for men who want to be with men. I understand the impulse, brothers. I do. But
He
our women
understands the impulse
not
of men
showing
being with
us.
men. I mean, if that's what he wanted, that's fine. Do you know a lot of Kevin Samuel fans? They never touch that part. They'll
Yeah,
defend everything else he says. They always remain quiet on that part.
They sure do.
For the streets, we're twerking.
On how bizarre it is that they are accusing you of the very thing that they do.
Get it popping. Hey, uh-oh.
Nice. My line, you can see it.
We're for the streets, we're twerking.
Get it
No, you
We're for the streets,
are.
we're
You
twerking.
are.
Get it popping.
We're for the streets,
You
we're
are.
twerking.
Get it popping. Hey, uh-oh.
What the hell is this?
On my line, you can see it. You can't see it on y'all.
Oh, you damn sure can see it
You
on her
can
line.
see it on my line. You can see everything. Y'all want me to take my shirt off?
They are accusing you.
Isn't that crazy? Oh man. Well, y'all, anyone have any last words? Let's call it a day.
I really don't know what to say about this. I gotta be honest with you. I think this is a whole circus just going around right now. I just don't have anything else to say other than be aware of certain spaces. That's all I have to say on that.
That's a well said thing because folks are crazy.
Very.
But if you wait long enough, they'll expose themselves. You know. So let's see what King Sig has to say. King Sig says, she know damn well she wasn't gonna take off her shirt off. I would look for $5,000. I bet she would have. You know, I bet she would have. I mean, it's not like I don't think she had like nothing on there, but under there. But she would have took the shirt off, had her bra hanging out. Yep. I think she would. All right, bro, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. And you know what? Again, tuning in and out. I'm going to be smart this time. And I'm going to let y'all rock for a minute. And then I will comment.
Actually, we about to leave.
Oh,
Yeah,
damn.
we're done.
Oh, yeah. I saw Melanie and I was like, I wonder what they have to say.
Oh, man.
There's nothing much.
Yeah, you missed it. You was talking about her twerking.
You know, I heard about all that stuff and like I didn't see it because like I tuned out of the Manosphere, like I said, a long time ago. So like when I saw like people were like, "Oh, is Melanie full of shit?" I was like, I didn't mind her content back when I was watching, like when I was, I guess, taking Manosphere stuff to heart. I didn't mind her. I didn't think anything of it. I was just like, oh, this lady. I don't know much about her, but it would appear as though she's been making an ass of herself.
Yep.
Yep. I mean, at least you want to at least make a consistent ass of yourself, which means, you know, not to contradict or to look like a hypocrite, but she did it.
That's the problem with a lot of the Manosphere people, which is why, and I'm gonna bring up this example, but I want y'all to stick with me logically. Someone like Andrew Tate, one of the big reasons why he's so horrible is because like he legitimately he's dead serious. Every single horrible thing that he says, he has done, he stands by, and there are receipts, and we believe it. So if anybody in the Manosphere is really about that life who is not a grifter, I would actually say it's Andrew Tate.
He's not a grifter, but he is a trafficker. You're right. You're right.
Wait, what? Who's the trafficker?
Andrew Tate.
Well, he's been accused of it. We're going to see how this plays out. But it's
no, he was charged of it.
Yeah, he's charged of it.
Meaning allegedly. You got to say allegedly because there hasn't been a disposition or a conviction yet.
Yeah, allegedly. That's why. Like, I do want to stand by that. However, you know, if it looks like a duck, it's not a quail. So it's looking like a duck, but we do not know, kids, if it's a duck. So I'll say that.
So
but
true.
Melanie is yeah, like I said, I don't know too much of the tea, but I've been seeing her kind of fall. I mean, she's not taking L's like Pearl, but
no, she's I don't know, she's pretty close. She's not taking as many L's as Pearl just because she hasn't been exposed as much as Pearl.
No, that
close.
And Melanie, whether it's real or not, is easier on the eyes than Pearl, so she'll get grace no matter what group. No matter, get this, even if you're against her, you're gonna go easier on Melanie because she doesn't look like Pearl.
Melanie does look. I will say Melanie looks better than Pearl, and it's not even close. I will say that
1,000 times, yeah.
And she doesn't have that weird laugh. She doesn't have that weird laugh like Pearl has.
Right.
Yeah. So because Melanie is attractive, she stands a better chance of like getting by, at least in the Manosphere space. I think because like from what I'm seeing, but like I said this yesterday, like the younger kids, they're waking up. So like even if they're watching it and they're taking some of it seriously, they're like, I don't know. So like people are clowning Pearl now. Like the young bulls, people are clowning Pearl. So even people that were like, oh, red pill, yeah, getting in fights with girls on Facebook, they're like, I don't know, Pearl corny.
Yep, Sigma says Tate was and still is promoting masculinity.
Chester, you are the biggest idiot in the world. You are truly the biggest idiot in the world. Andrew Tate is a toxic person.
King Sigma. Look, let's listen. Let's look at what what did he say? Tate
I'm gonna see if he's gonna come up to the stage. I'll stay longer if he comes up.
No, sir. His name is Chester. That's his real name. Okay, this guy's a King Sigma. No, his real name's Chester.
Whoever he is, I would love to talk. Yo, King Sigma,
his name is
trust
Chester.
me.
Okay,
this is a safe space.
Yeah, Chester is a sponge. He likes anything Manosphere. He likes anything red pill. Chester, you are the biggest idiot in the world. There is nothing empowering about Andrew Tate. He doesn't promote anything. He's a toxic person. Forget.
Wait. Sigma didn't say that he was empowering. I'm looking again. I was looking at. Could you pull that back up, DJ? Like the statement he made was, Tate was and still is promoting masculinity, something we need more of in the world. Now, okay, so King Sigma, here's the thing. You didn't literally say anything wrong, you know? I think surface level, yeah. What is masculinity, Sigma? I think that's where people would start to get into the issue, because while Andrew Tate says he's promoting masculinity, that's based off of what Andrew Tate thinks masculinity is, or what the best attributes of masculinity are. Because like with any trait, especially when we're talking about masculinity, femininity, like our raw animalistic things, there's gonna be good and bad stuff that comes with that.
Right.
No, seriously.
Right. Is your name Spro, sir? Sprow, sir?
Spro, correct.
Okay, Spro. You're not aware of the history with Chester. Trust me.
I
with
don't
all
need
due
to
respect-
know. Like, get this. All
with
these
all due
cats are all the
respect-
same. I don't need his
No,
history.
no, but Spro, with all due respect, trust me. On the surface, you may think what Chester is saying is no big deal, but the connotation is clear. We know Chester.
Oh,
We-
maybe
we-
you
we
misread
know
my tone. I was
we
being
know
very
the history
sarcastic.
of Chester. He's very ridiculous. He worships and looks up to anything Manosphere Red Pill related, even if whatever he's looking up to is toxic. So trust me.
No, sister. I hear what you're saying. And get this. Again, my tone, I was being a little sarcastic. However, at the same time, literal. See, here's the thing. When people who we disagree with challenge us or oppose us, we need to. I'm pushing this every live I get on, people, forevermore. I'm gonna be pushing this. We need to understand where they're coming from in order to properly dissect our gripes. So even someone like King Sigma, who I'm like, all I have is what you're telling me. So from
Chester.
based off of what you're telling me,
Chester.
whatever his name may be, I'm guessing from what you're saying, you're like, oh, this is someone that shouldn't be taken seriously, and no matter what he thinks, red pill, like he's RP till he die, and that may be the case. I'm more fascinated as to why Sigma, Chester, whatever. Why do you think that? I would love to hear explanation. Please cam up, brother. You will not be shut down. I will defend you. I want to hear your point of views, because hearing your point of view is how we can, one, better have the conversation and get to solutions, brother. You disagree with the ladies on the panel, I'm sure. I'm sure you disagree with things DJ has said. Please call in.
Yes, Chester, pull up.
Share
Pull
your
up,
grievances,
Chester.
brother.
Pull up, Chester, and
Hey, lady says
start.
we need a timer for Spro.
Yeah.
You
Chester, pull up and start reading from your script, and then when you get challenged and you get stumped, start changing the subject.
Yeah.
Like you always do. Show Spro who you really are. So come up, Chester. Nobody's gonna interrupt you. So please come up and defend your position, sir.
Well, no, we have to stand by that. If we're really gonna allow him to come up, and which, like Sigma, come on, you. I'm guessing if you're in the comments like that, you know how the YouTube streets are, so you already know you can come up here.
Yeah, Chester,
I
come
will.
up.
If anyone shuts you down, bro, I'm gonna check them real quick. I really do want to know, because
Probably won't back.
I'm sorry, Spro. You
Not
said you're gonna
today.
do what? Wait. You said you're gonna do what?
I said if anyone interrupts him, I'm gonna check y'all. Yeah, that's
That's what you're gonna do?
with respect, sister. Yeah, like that's fair.
Oh, you see how he caught that? He said with respect.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna be like, yo, shut the fuck up. I'm gonna be like, yo, he talking.
Oh, he gathered himself real quick. You see how he did that?
No, straight up. Like it'd be the same thing. Like if it was the other way around. Like if I was on like a Manosphere panel and you were in the comments and I was like, yo, like no, come up here. Yo, let her share her piece. You know what I mean? Don't cut her off. If any of y'all cut her off, I'm gonna say shut up.
Oh no,
Like
Chester said not today. He said not today. He's still celebrating. I don't know what he's celebrating.
What are you celebrating, Chester?
you celebrate you're watching, dude. You can't call in. Like
Yeah.
even if
Chester,
it's on the
come up.
background,
Nobody-
you're watching
nobody-
enough to where you can comment.
Yeah, nobody's gonna interrupt you, Chester. Don't worry. I'm not gonna call you out for how you talk trash and then you got caught and then you lied.
Oh,
I won't bring that up.
Oh, damn.
Wait,
girl,
Chester, who do you think's cuter, Melanie King or just Pearly Things?
Oh, DJ, you know the
Give him a
answer.
harder question, DJ.
And wait, this is going to be really interesting, Spro. Just watch this out. You'll see what I mean.
DJ told you, let that man love his blandness. Let him love his blandness. That's his preference.
I mean, neither of them are really my type, but I don't know. I feel like it's not a contest here. I mean, get this, DJ. I'm sure DJ hates Melanie, but even he said he was like, "Oh hell yeah, Melanie."
Whoa, nobody hates Melanie. Like we don't know.
Okay,
this girl.
strongly is not in
Disagrees.
favor.
Strongly disagrees.
Yeah, strongly disagrees with Melanie. But again, he's not made of stone. Pearl is like just husky and just boring looking. It's not even that she's husky. Because I've seen some girls that are 6 foot that are pretty.
Eye catcher, if you
Not
say
at
that.
all. She blends. I mean, she's freakishly tall. So like she stands out, but not in a good way. And she hunches.
That's why she probably can't get with the women that are, totally feminine, and they can stand out better just by standing beside her. So she had to join the men because she probably could relate to them not being picked.
Well, yeah. Like I said, honestly, I do not throw around the term "pick me" ever. I personally think it's used out of context, but I can't think of any other word to describe Pearl other than "pick me." And I think she's an accidental grifter because I don't think she's aware that she's
Accidental drifter. I think.
Yeah. Well, here's
she knew what she was doing.
No.
Oh, my bad. Oh, Chester, it's your birthday. Oh, it's your birthday. Oh, happy birthday, Chester. Happy 42nd birthday.
Sigma,
No, that
happy
is 60.
Sigma, happy 52nd birthday.
No. Chester's in his 40s, I believe, his early 40s. Oh, happy birthday, Chester. Happy birthday to you.
Yo, Sigma, you gonna let them play you, bro? Yo, cam up. Cam up, bro. Seriously, like don't let them.
I told you I was right. He turned 42.
Yo, okay, so you're paying attention enough to where you can comment on, oh, my age is actually this, but you can't click the link, bro.
Happy birthday, dear Chester.
Here, I'll drop it one more time. One more time.
Happy birthday.
I thought you were gonna be up here to defend your guy. I mean, I thought you red pill guys defend each other. What happened?
Wait, you talking about MTR?
No, he was here for Coach Greg Adams.
I was about to say, because I'm not gonna lie, even I haven't watched MTR's content in a while, but MTR always seemed more thorough.
Disrespecting women, calling them
okay. I'm not going. Okay, MTR has said, I think, things that, like, if a woman were to hear it, would think were disrespectful. However, just coming from a man's perspective, maybe I'm wrong.
It sounds disrespectful to me.
Do you know MTR's backstory?
Do you know that he called black women hood boogers?
You're gonna party like it's your birthday.
Yeah, hood booger is a slang term. I've called.
Yeah,
all
I
kinds
know
of
he lost a ball to cancer or something like that. Probably
no, I'm not. I'm talking before I'm talking about how he, I guess, became, I guess, like RP, like how he, like, I guess his, like, what got him to like this, to where he's making content like this, and like why he's so passionate about it. He did a video on it. I'm not gonna lie, it is a messed up story. I'm not saying that like bad experiences like that necessarily justify us being wrong or saying hurtful things about other groups.
What's the short story?
To sum it up, he was with this girl.
Okay.
And then she said that she had like ovarian cancer. It was a whole thing. She said she couldn't have kids. He spent a lot of money and stuff. Turns out she was like cheating on the whole time. She lied about the cancer and then like ended up getting pregnant by someone else.
That's
and
awful.
That kind of thing. And that was like one of his only, like, it was like his, like he wasn't in like a lot of long-term relationships. It was like one of his first few. And
right, he's
like,
a hoe, by the way. He admitted it.
Probably now, yeah. I'm like, I mean, hey, I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about like how he, which is why I said before, we need to understand, like, people we disagree with.
Bro, let me stop you for 1 second. That's what we do need to understand is why is it that these men take some event that happened in their life long ago and use that for the reason for all women? That's
because they're human and they're flawed and they're ignorant, so they need correction.
Even women that men call tainted, it takes a series of events for that to happen.
Men and women are different.
Like, hey, look, my first girlfriend cheated on me. So what?
Okay. Does everyone on the panel
something else to talk about?
Does everyone on the panel agree that men do not know how to process their emotions correctly?
Oh, I agree with that. Yeah.
Okay. I think we all can agree with that.
So DJ Torch, what Spro is trying to say is, what I need from you is understanding. How can we communicate?
Not necessarily. What I'm saying is, get this. I think that there is a problem with the manosphere. There's a problem with the red pill stuff. I think that you need to know why people, and I say this from experience. Like I said, I went down the red pill rabbit hole, and I'm not saying every single cat has the same experience or is in that space for the same reasons that I am. But I'm telling you from talking to cats, when I was in it and being out it, I'm telling you right now, it's not entirely like people who are critical. It would appear.
Bro, I need to stop you one second.
Yeah.
What percentage of the manosphere do you feel is helpful?
I never made that argument. I wasn't saying it was helpful. But you just acting generally?
Yeah, I mean, what percentage of the manosphere do you feel is okay?
Yeah.
Now, what are we talking about? Are we talking about the manosphere as an idea, as a whole, like community, or are we talking about the red pill philosophy? No, DJ, I'm trying to be thorough. I don't want to like speak stupid. Seriously, are we talking about red pill stuff, or are you talking about the manosphere as a concept?
Bro,
okay, fine, DJ. I'm gonna answer your question.
Former manosphere? Are you former red pill?
Yes, I guess that's how you could categorize.
Okay, so why did he leave the red pill community?
Yeah, I was gonna ask him what happened to you. What made you go down that rabbit hole?
Oh, originally? Oh, I was having trouble dating. I was having trouble with women.
You were
That's
having
how a lot of
trouble
guys
with
end
women,
up
so you
there.
went to the red pill.
No, that's not why. It started off with actually one of the first big things that I did in trying to like solve my, I guess, dating problems was I actually paid for a dating coach. She actually was a woman, not manosphere, not red pill. And I'm sharing my
Go
experience.
ahead.
Right?
I'm sorry. Go
I'm
ahead.
just keeping it a buck.
Go ahead.
So I paid for sessions with her, and it was really insightful.
Okay.
I found her on YouTube, and I learned some stuff. So from there, just, the algorithm, it feeds you stuff. So that's how, and get this, that's how it starts. Guys are just looking up dating advice, stuff like that. And then eventually you get sucked down the hole and you start hearing cats share stories and experiences that match up with your stories and experiences.
Bro, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
How long have you been married for?
Almost 3 years, not long.
Did you get married before or after red pill?
I got out of the red pill after I was married, actually.
Oh.
So you were red pill during your marriage?
I guess I would categorize like me being red pill. Like the more I think about it, especially looking back on it now and like spending time in like on spaces like yours and other spots, I don't think that my red pill experience was the same as like other cats. It was very brief in comparison, and
How long?
I'm not. It might have lasted about a year. However, in that year, I did start to see improvement in dating, but it was for other reasons. I got more confidence. I started trying different techniques. And then, like I said, I paid for a dating coach. I took some of her advice to heart and I started implementing it on online dating. And I'm not going to lie, I was talking to multiple girls at one time. I realized that I did not like that. I actually was legitimately just looking for a relationship. I also have certain religious convictions and I wanted to be married. I wanted a wife. I wanted a family. So I'm not gonna lie. It got to like when me and my wife got together, I had already known her for like 10 years. I kind of had, I want to say given up, but I just really wasn't worried about it. I wasn't concerned about women anymore. I guess I had my quote hoe phase. It was not for me. I didn't understand it. And even some of the things like even watching red pill content, it started to conflict with how I was feeling because I was like, yo, these guys are saying one thing, but I'm not necessarily feeling that. Like, I understand where they're coming from, but like that doesn't seem to produce the kind of results that I want. So I stopped caring. And then honestly, me and my wife, it just kind of naturally happened. We got together. However, I still stood by a lot of the talking points. And that was kind of one of the bigger reasons on why I started my YouTube channel, just because I liked conversations like that. And I was like, oh, I want to start having conversations like that.
Okay. Ding, 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 ding. Okay. Bro, so tell me this. In a short sentence or paragraph, I could be paragraph. How much of that red pill information do you use towards your marriage, or did you dump it all?
So if one actually understands and actually like looks at it like objectively, the red pill, like what the red pill teaches isn't necessarily, it's not tactics or look at the metaphor. itself, about the Matrix. It's about uncomfortable truths.
Okay.
So
okay.
it's
Maybe I can
sorry.
phrase this better.
Yeah.
How would you describe your wife?
Like as a person?
Well, I mean, DJ Torch, respectfully, I actually wanted him to finish what he was talking about. Your first question was, how has the red pill influenced your marriage? I think that was your first question, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
let him finish. Let him finish.
I would say it hasn't really influenced my marriage at all. I already had like certain like very kind of old fashioned just kind of views in general. So like as far as like stuff that the red pill talks about, as far as like, oh, marriage and blah blah blah. I mean, yeah, but I wouldn't say that it was because of the red pill that I felt that way. Even though I was watching red pill content and like I agreed with a lot of the points and experiences that I heard, I already felt that way, which is why another reason why it was so attractive. It confirmed certain things that I had already believed and certain experiences that I had. And that's the problem with it, because the algorithm just feeds it to you over and over again. So even if you've had those experiences, you get an overload on it, and it warps your thinking into thinking that every single scenario and every single situation is like that for everybody. And that's not the case.
Okay. I don't know.
But it did. I would say that red pill didn't have really actually at all any kind of influence or effect on my marriage.
So, Spro, why did you leave the red pill? Because you said you're not red pill anymore.
I just began to like, I got to a point where I realized, and this is before I got married, so I guess that's where it started, kind of based off of even the red pill's logic, even the things that they say that are incorrect, that I think are incorrect. You eventually hit a wall if you're logically thinking and you're actually trying to fix yourself and you're trying to like get different results. I hit a wall to where I was like, okay, so the red pill says that women are just one way. So if women are just one way, I can't change that. So no matter what the red pill logic was, even by their standards, it came back to I was the problem. It was me. Because what they think is women are all one way and women can't change how they are. So if women can't change how they are, I look stupid trying to think that like, oh, well, the women should understand me and they should understand that not all men make six figures and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, dude, if that's how they are, maybe you're the problem. Maybe it's things that you aren't doing. Maybe you aren't attracting the kind of woman that you say that you want. Maybe you're so worried about getting with a woman that you're not even focusing on just being yourself. And to be quite honest, guys are a lot less pickier than women. And if guys just chill out, some woman will recognize you if you just chilling. It don't matter who you are. Women like who they like at the end of the day. Yes, women like, guys that make a lot of money and handsome guys. But if a woman likes you, you really don't have to try too hard. Look at how many women are with bums. They just like them. For whatever reason they like them, and that's who they picked. And they don't really have to try that hard. When a woman likes you, you really have to mess up royally to lose her.
Bro, women don't like bums.
No, I'm not saying women like, but I'm saying in the few cases where like you see that kind of thing, like I'm just giving an example.
Okay. Spro, how about this my second question.
Could you repeat it?
Oh, you mean the one from 30 minutes ago?
Yeah. Okay, the first question was like, does red pill affect my marriage? I said no. And then the second question was,
I believe it was about your wife, right?
Like what kind of person is she?
Yeah.
She's a little quieter. However, she's not like a wallflower. She'll engage in conversation. She was homeschooled in high school, so like she doesn't have like a lot of the social skills a lot of other people had, but like she's a little older, so like I mean she's developed, like she's warm. When she's upset about something, she's upset about it, and we working on that. But she's my best friend. I really vibe with her, man. That's my man's. 100 grand. I wouldn't have married her if I didn't like her. There's things I don't like about her, but that's just what there's plenty of things. You think I'm an angel to live with? I know I'm not, but that's what a marriage is. I agree that I'm gonna die.
Talk as much when you're in front of her?
Oh hell yeah, she's my best audience. God bless her. She's quiet. However,
has she ever fallen asleep while you talk?
I usually go. So like whenever I do like these lives, I'll go in the room.
Don't be mean.
No, I don't care. Usually I'll get off of lives like this late at night, and then I'll go and be like, "Yo, we was talking about this, and that," and she's like, "Mm-hmm." She's my best audience. Yeah, that's my man.
Okay, good for her.
Yeah.
She's white.
No.
She's black.
I married a black woman. Yes. What you talking about?
She's Haitian. She's Jamaican.
No.
She's American.
Yes.
She's Haitian American. Jamaican
No.
American.
She's nothing. Her parents are not immigrants.
I don't.
So what made you attracted to her? What type of
Well, maybe attract. Well, but first off, I met her when I was like 17. First time I saw her, I was like, "Oh, you." And what's crazy is she has an identical twin sister, but I could always tell them apart. I was like, "Oh, you the one." I knew from the rip. I was
Wait,
like,
you said
"Oh."
she's old. Wait, you said she's older than you?
No, she has an. I said she has an identical twin sister.
No, but previously you said she's a little bit older. So is she older than you?
I know. I said she's older than she was then. I'm older than her.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, she's 20. She just turned 28 yesterday. Actually, she had a birthday.
Oh, okay.
Congratulations! Happy birthday to her.
Her birthday was the same day as Chester's.
Oh, hey, birthday twins. I'm 31, so we're a few years apart.
Oh, that's so. Wait. Wait, you're 31 and she's 28.
Yes.
The first time you saw her, you were 17.
Yeah, I think so. So I was 17 or 18.
Oh, you were 17 or 18, and she was 15 or 14
or 16. One of those.
No, wait. You said you're 31, and you said she's 28. That's 3 years. You're 3 years older than her. You said the first time you saw her, you were 17 or 18. So that means she was 14 or 15.
Okay, yeah, I guess.
Okay.
I don't get it.
No, there's nothing to get. I was just making sure I heard it correctly.
Yeah. No, back in the day, me and my buddies used to hang out with her cousins. So like she was like always around, and it was like, oh yeah. So like we like knew each other and stuff. Like we knew each other for a long time. So.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice. I'm glad you found.
Okay, you guys, I'm gonna drop down. I am tired. So.
Betterment, have a nice evening. Are you having a live coming up soon?
Yeah, 3 days in a row, but I'll send you a link.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Sleep well. I guess it's a perfect.
Bye, Creative Solutions.
Okay, we stayed on for a whole
I'm
hour.
still on the panel. That was Betterment.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Tam.
Other was you Creative Solutions.
Creative, where you been?
I
Creative,
think
where
we
you
got
been? You
different
just went.
voices. I don't know.
My bad. My
Creative
bad.
probably just woke up for her own nap.
I was listening. I'm the one who asked him the question about why he was in the Manosphere. But okay, I like his love story.
Well, no, well, my love story doesn't have anything to do with the Manosphere. I said, get this, and that's why I have the perspective that I have. Because to be quite honest, again, I'm not saying like if these cats are saying like terrible, disgusting stuff, you check it. However, I know it's not. Get this, the influencers. I said this last night. The influencers, you're never gonna get through to them. It's not about the influencers. It's the people that are watching, right? Those are the people that, if anything, again, they're saying drawing stuff, but I'm like, understand where they're coming from. Because like a lot of those cats, they're just hurting. Now, that doesn't make the terrible things that they're doing and saying okay, but it like, remember, monsters aren't born, they're created. And if we can help young bulls wake up and be like, look, even though these cats are saying things that you maybe can relate to, the things that they're prescribing is not healthy. And like their overall conclusions are not conducive to a positive, productive lifestyle. So don't listen to that. I think that's what we need to do. And I say that from really being deep in it and being like, yo, this is law, this is life, like women ain't shit, blah, 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 blah. And like everyone is going to have their criticisms, but like, especially like I said, being in it and then looking outside and then spending time in spaces like this, it helps with how you see everything, because you get to hear. Because what's interesting is I still go on Manosphere panels, and the talks are not always about women and dogging women. They really aren't. But you do get that stuff. That stuff is still there. And then I come on other panels that are literally the exact opposite. They're like, yo, we need to tear these niggas down. And it's interesting because both sides, one, don't really understand the other one. Now, I could give a shit if the Manosphere guys understand, because of what they teach and the way that they think, it's going to be really hard. However, people who are on the opposing side, it's not enough to recognize like, hey, what Bull is saying is drolling. You have to understand why Bull thinks what he's saying is drolling. So that way you can better dismantle his argument. It's not enough to be like, oh, these guys are creeps. These guys are lames. We don't want them anyway. Sisters, when I say that they're not worried about that, they're not worried about that. Like, you got to hit them where it hurts.
Wait, ding, 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 ding. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so Conscious Minds Love says, I can't, bro. But also this one from Wonder Woman is something I want to. Wonder Woman 9G says, can he advise these men to seek therapy rather than striking out on Black women?
We talked about therapy last night, actually, when I was on the panel. I don't know if it was on this one. I said that I think that, like, get this, people in general, yeah, if you can get therapy, go get therapy. It is beneficial. However, I do think that, like, men and women are different. A lot of the time, there's a narrative that men don't process their emotions and they don't feel. They do feel, they just do it and execute it differently. Now, that's not to say that it's always in a positive or the way that it should be done. However, in the positive ways that it can be done, men just don't do it the same way. I think for a lot of the guys in the Manosphere, a lot of them just need to kind of wake up and just be like, look, I'm the issue. I'm the reason why I'm not getting the results that I want. I need to not worry about certain things that aren't important and just focus on me and bettering me and contributing to society.
Okay, wait. I got to stop you. Why do you think they can't do that?
Why do I think they can't do that? Because I think we live in a society now that teaches everybody, and I think I also said this last night, if you're uncomfortable, then something's wrong. If you don't like something, then something's wrong. It just can't be right. You just got to go against it. And what the Manosphere does is it gives these guys, even if they've gone through the experiences that they're talking about, even if they've, like, I don't care if you've been divorced and you've been milked for your money. I don't care if your girl cheated on you. I don't care if your baby mom is drooling. What it does is it gives them, it's like, oh, it's not me, it's them. It gives them example after receipt after receipt after receipt. Because remember, if you see a video that's less than 3 minutes or even a minute less, whoever's posting it, you need to check, because you're seeing what they want you to see. So like when the Red Pill guys post a video of a woman acting drawling, it's not that women aren't acting drawling. It's not that woman wasn't being drawling, but it's to fit the narrative. And when the algorithm is feeding you that stuff over and over, and get this, sisters, we have to be careful, because on the same end, it's the same way. We got receipts of men saying drawling stuff, but we have to look at who's posting it and the motive behind it. We need context. So like if you see a clip, I said this last night, if you see a clip from like Pearl and she's saying some drawling shit, Pearl most likely is saying something stupid. However, if you really want to break down and understand what she's saying so that way you can really dig into that ass, you need to go back and watch Pearl's 2-hour stream. So that way you have context and you have understanding. So that way you can better dismantle the argument.
Okay. All right. I'll use that as your last words.
Yeah, you got it.
What are your last thoughts?
Oh, it's me?
I was saying Tam, but I think Tam's asleep. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I mean, thank you for your story. You do go on for a long tangent, though. We be like with the clock and the timer. But based on the show, I mean, I thought this was a good show. I really don't like Greg Adams. Like every time I see his stream, it makes me want to throw up. So I can't really watch it. I feel like it's like top of the hate channel for women. His channel is.
You should have been here last night. If you think
I was here.
Yeah, she was.
I was here, but I don't really. I know because Greg Adams, he continuously makes content. That other clown over there don't really make content like that because he don't got nothing to say. But the stuff that he was saying yesterday. But this was a good stream. I'm looking forward to the book club and the second part of Princella. I mean, I don't agree with all her points, but I like the fact that she's for women empowerment and she wants to pour into women, and that's the number one thing I really like about it. That's all I gotta say.
Sounds good. Tam, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. What are your thoughts for the evening?
Thank you for having me. This was a very interesting live, even though I showed up a little bit late and I wasn't here on the panel that long. But good to meet you, Spro. You have a very interesting take on a lot of things, so I appreciate that.
Certainly.
And
Yeah. Before I start the music,
and
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
DJ Torch, just say your line one more time for me before I go.
Are you gonna shut up or are you gonna let me talk?
There you go. Okay, go ahead.
For the kids.
All right. Here we go.
Money work.
You can't get laid in the house. Wonder Woman in the house. Queen in the house. A lady in the house. Object my love.
Money work.
In Lucifer.
Se arregla con dinero.
Promise.
Money work. Si me quiero educar.
Melanated
dormir en algún lugar. Un lugar para trabajar. Y si no hay, pues emigrar. Todo money, todo el dinero. Solo un par de gente se lleva el botín entero. Funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienes lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero llegaremos antes o después. Solo a lo suyo, que Dios te lo ve. Que por más que tarde lo veré caer. Somos malos buenos y tenemos dinero. Ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo y cómo voy. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.
Oye, earlier.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Yo digo las cosas como son. No quiero ninguna aceptación. Tampoco vengo a pedir perdón porque mis sentimientos se volvieron la canción. Yeah. No me vale mucho como tú me ves. Sabes, tú me llegas solo a los pies. Para mí ser grande es un interés. Ser un buen humano para mí es un deber. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money work.
Henry Mars.
El mundo quiere dinero. Money work.
Easy money.
Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Corazón. De corazón. La plata no te hace ser feliz.
Eden Queen.
De corazón. De corazón. La plata no te hace ser feliz. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work.
Thank you everybody for coming through. Yeah.
Money work.